Okay, good evening. My name is Natalia, and today I'm going to talk to you about Phase 5, Practice Meaningful Experiences video. I am in the 19 group. So to start talking about this task, I would like to do an introduction. The course testing and evaluation in ELT is part of the immersion practice route of the Licenciatura en Lenguas Extranjeras con énfasis en inglés. It belongs to the MP2 called Pedagogical and Didactic Strategy with the use of ICT to strengthen teaching in foreign languages. The development of the course testing and evaluation in ELT provides students with the stage of root immersion, practice, and the course is devoted to review the different kind of tests using the teaching English as a foreign language. As this is a methodological practical course, its objective is to expose students to the pedagogical strategy will be used through the real context, and in the course, the phase-based learning pedagogical strategy will be used through activities, saying one and another with a series of phases to follow in face-to-face and virtual environments. Okay. Objectives. Identify the different kind of tests to demonstrate skills acquired in pedagogical practice, to evidence experiences acquired in the process of pedagogical practice at Brighton School, sharing emotions and feelings that were generated in the process while carry the practice at Brighton School. Brighton is the institution in which I carry my practice. So I would like to make a contextualization before to speak or to talk about my experience and emotions in my practice place. So Brighton School is located in Pamplona. Its students are mostly from strata 1, 2, and 3 and come from nuclear familia. In the second grade, there are some students with special educational needs that requires different strategies in order to achieve the significant learning. So experience. Okay, the most meaningful experience was my first day at the institution, because when I arrived there, I felt really nervous because it's a new place, and I was starting a new semester, and I didn't know the grades I will work. But as soon as the principal saw me, she was really, really happy because I was there, and she gave me the grades to work with. So she told me, you are going to work with kindergarten, first grade, and second grade. And of course, I work with these grades for about 3 weeks. And then the principal told me that I stayed working only with second grade because my classmate we is going to my classmate, yes, is going to work with kindergarten, and a student from University of Pamplona is going to work with another with first grade. So I stayed working with second grade. It was an beautiful experience, because I could learn a lot of from my students, and they can learn from me many things. So something that I really appreciate is that um, students were really participative in the different classes, and yes, work very well. So in the yes, through the weeks, we we study different topics like fruits, vegetables, sports, parts of the body, adjectives for describing people, verb to be, personal pronouns, different topics. And at the end of the period, I was in charge of create the exam. So it was a good experience because I have to create a strategy in order to evaluate all the topics in a short way and using the different skills. I mean, the reading, the listening, writing, and speaking. But taking into account that students have only 2 hours to answer the exam. So I I developed this activity in a presential and a virtual way in order to measure how much the students learned, uh, and have the results first. Um, well, this experience was meaningful because I start to apply the test in a presential way or in a face-to-face way, and students start solve the test, but they were like 2 students that was a copying from the notebook. So it was a dilemma for me because I felt bad because I have to take off the exam and put it a grade of 1.0, and they are really young or really small guys, so I worried about them. But teacher told me you have to be um you have to be strict. Forget. Okay, you have to do it because that's the way they are going to learn that if you want to pass the exam, you have to study. So I did it. did it, but I didn't feel better. So I speak with teacher and ask her if it is possible to practice a new exam to those students in order they can get a grade, yes, a good grade. So it wasn't possible, and those students failed the subject. Uh, yes. So acquire skills, organization, and time management. Okay, and through my practice, I discovered that to be a teacher is to be organized. Yes, because teachers have to plan all the strategies, all the activities, all what they are going to implement in the class before doing the class. And they have to create several strategies in order to make the class more funny and more interest for the students, but also because if a strategy didn't work well, they can change that strategy and use another one. So to be a teacher implies organization. Another aspect is time management. This was really difficult for me because I spent a lot of time in a specific activity, and sometimes other activities have to be shorter or can be developed in that class. So I learned how to manage the time, how to use all the strategies that I planned, or not all, but also two or three instead to one or two. And of course, this was meaningful because I understand that as teacher, we have to summarize all the information in order students can comprehend better and can access all the information in a class. So really difficult, but important too. So feelings and emotions. Referring to this part, I have to say that I experienced several feelings, but I experienced um, happiness, sadness, and sometimes I feel like nervous. Happiness because it's really, really, yes, meaningful to know or to discover that all your students are understanding what you are teaching and they are interested on continue teaching outside of the classrooms. They want to participate and learn more and more every day. Sadness because at the moment of evaluate, some students didn't have good notes, good grades. So I feel worried because they could uh, lose the subject, and that made me worried about it. But it was uh, meaningful too to understand that we offer the tools that students need. We explain the topic. We do all what we can do, and students have to study or have to prepare Tensol for the evaluation, for the test. And nervous because to be a teacher is not easy. It implies organization, it implies empathy, it implies to be comprehensive. And teacher work not only at school, teacher work also at home, and they have many things to do. And yes, students learn from teacher not only new knowledge, but also they learn how to behave, how to express, how to interact with other people. So it is a really important labor to be a teacher. Conclusions. Okay. Conclusion. Finally, I have good experience in the pedagogical practice, and I was able to learn many ways of teaching and discover what are the preferred for the students. And thanks for your attention. That's all for today. See you next time. Bye.